Hello everyone, Nostradamus here, and today we are going to talk about LCA. And let me tell you something about LCA. LCA, that stock.
I was just going to say it. This guy
So hit that early thumbs up and let's get into the video on LCA. I get it. If you're impatient like me, I do have chapters down below. Just skip to the part you want. You don't have to just skip away from the video. Anyway, today we're going to talk about 3 big pieces of news that happened with LCA last week. I'm really excited about this stock. I'm going to give a price prediction on this stock. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, stop listening to YouTubers and their price predictions because it's ridiculous. And finally, what am I doing in LCA stock? What am I doing in other gambling stocks? It's a sector I'm super pumped about. I am starting to look to open more positions, and I'm going to give you my reasons why on that. I think it is pretty big, and it has some bonus content. I want to talk about Xpeng and NIO and Tesla a little bit. We'll save that towards the end of the video, and we'll probably talk about my account and the channel a bit. So stick around. I really think you're going to like what I have for you in this video. So 3 big pieces of news happened for LC last week, and let me tell you, it has been quite the dry spell for LCA. We've been all sitting around waiting for news to happen. We were expecting merger dates already by now. Still haven't gotten those, but one big piece did move forward that I think was going to help facilitate that merger date. They had a hearing in Atlantic City. It got a little wild, got a little crazy for a while. There was a big dip in the stock price during all this. I might have capitalized on it a little bit. So at the end of the day, they approved it. They are allowing Golden Nugget to separate their gaming. So that's going to move on separate. So that's one big piece of news. And I think that will lead, I think that was a hurdle they needed before they move on with the merger. I'm expecting to see or hear news on that soon. 2 other big pieces of news. They got into an agreement with a casino in West Virginia. So they're moving into West Virginia. They also did an agreement with Illinois, so they're moving into Illinois. Illinois is another very populous state. This is on top of the fact that they're already in Atlantic City. Atlantic City is a massive area with a lot of people, a lot of consumers. They posted record earnings again at the end of October. This stock is shown to thrive in these current global conditions. There you have it. They got the hearing approved. They're moving into Illinois and West Virginia. That's big. They're already in Pennsylvania, a lot of population. They're in Atlantic City, which is next to New York City. Over 30 million people, right? So hop, skip, and jump away. They just drive over in their car and they do a little gambling on the iPad. This is all very big news, and the stock is already finally starting to move because of this. It is up over $20 now. I'm getting excited. Are you all excited out there? Let me know. Remind me, are you still in it? How many shares do you have? What is your cost basis? What is your plan? What is your goal? When you looking to get out, are you a hodler? Or, like for me, I'll get into my price predictions here in a second and what I have in the stock and what I'm looking to do going forward. So before I move on to my price predictions, I want to talk about the massive opportunity here and some other plays I like. We have LCA, which is only right around a $1.6 billion company, and they have a measly 31.5 million share float. That is tiny. So that can lead to extra volatility and spikes and declines when they come in the stock. We have PENN that's around an 11 billion valuation. They have 155 million shares. They have Draftkings, there's Draftkings out there. They have roughly a 20 billion market cap and 350 or so million shares. I love all 3 companies. All of these companies, I love them all a lot. I am looking to add some positions in PENN and Draftkings. I do have that in my M1 Finance, which is a great way to watch stocks that I love. And I do invest in small amounts, dollar cost averaging. Started that account off with $500. I had in $250 a month. It's already doing great. So those are the 3 I really like long term. All right, so LCA, again, they're only a $1.6 billion market cap. There is plenty of opportunity for explosion there if they pull it off. Golden Nugget is a very well-known, recognized brand. Their iGaming is continuing to explode. More and more states are allowing it. They use live dealers. I like that. That's really cool. And again, there's just so much opportunity, and I think they are going to do a good job of capitalizing on that. Now, I only have 200 shares of this. I only had 100 going in last week. I did add another 100, so it's still a very small portion of my portfolio. It is extremely risky. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. This is entertainment purposes only. You've got to make your own decisions. Again, this is a very small amount, about 2 to 2.5% of my overall portfolio, maybe even less. But I like it. I do think this is going to be a 5-10x plus going forward. So there we have it. That kind of leads me into my price predictions. I do think a merger date's going to come out by the end of the year, possibly even have the merger by the end of the year. Well, it's getting pretty tight with the holidays. It's hard to say. But if that happens, I can see the stock going anywhere between like 25 and 40 bucks. I know that's a big range, but man, you know, FOMO, MOMO can get going on this. Me personally, like I said, I have 200 shares. I'll probably look to scale out of about 100 of those once it's near a double. Just kind of doing some good mechanics. And I want to start moving money into Draftkings and PENN too. There is going to be some big catalysts coming up. They've all been hurt by, you know, the situation going on. A lot of sports aren't playing. We do, like, even the NFL's having problems, and they keep having these outbreaks. It's not going to take much for like a big outbreak. And if the NFL were to shut down, that would be huge. But with the vaccine coming up, the Super Bowl coming up, the biggest betting day of the year, that's coming up. That's going to be a catalyst. After, you know, people start getting vaccinated, you know, this is going to come around big next year. You're going to have spring training in baseball. You're going to have basketball playoffs and etc. like that. And then you're going to be going back into the NFL season, and it's just like the sports wagering and the iGaming portions. I think all three of these companies are going to capitalize. I think all three are going to be successful because LCA is such a much smaller market cap right now. They have right now the best potential for the most explosive growth, but you know, they are going to have to produce. Along with that, like $25 to $40 price prediction, I can easily see in this stock being a 5 to 10x. What the time frame for that is, it's tough to say. It could be as soon on the 5x as by the end of 2021. It's not out of the question if this really starts getting momentum just because of its small market cap. They continue to get states, if they continue to show blowout profits, at 10x plus is not out of the question. Even a 10x right now, if that were to happen over the next year, you know, that's going to be big, but they're still smaller at Draftkings at that point. I do think PENN and Draftkings could be 2 to 3x's over the next year, and lots of massive potential with many multiples plus going forward into the future as this gambling, like this is a gambling rush, gold rush, just like the green rush, just like the EV rush, in my opinion. Right now, the gambling's lagging behind a little bit. But start thinking into the future when this situation goes away, just how much that can change, especially when it comes to sports gambling. As some bonus content, I want to talk about Xpeng and NIO just real quickly, and then Bitcoin coming up. Ooh, you didn't see that one coming. Anyway, Xpeng and NIO, I have 600 shares of Xpeng, Xiaopeng. I have 600 shares of that. I have 500 shares of NIO. I am looking to lighten that up. I have done extremely well in these stocks. I also have 190 shares of Tesla. You know, I'm kind of gotten myself into a tax situation. It's first world problems completely right, but I do have to make a quarterly tax payment now, and a big one, because I've done tremendously well on Tesla, NIO, and Xpeng lately. Let me know down below if you guys have had the same success. I mean, it has been ridiculous the last 5 or 6 weeks. I had one day alone where I was up over 20,000. Problem with that is if you can make $20,000 a day, it's the velocity of the downside is worse. So I could be down $30,000 any day next week if this market, especially this EV thing, doesn't hold up. So when it comes to these stocks, I do want to lighten it up just because I think, you know, the price is definitely up there, but more along the lines, I'm getting a little nervous with some of this Chinese stuff, and you know, there's a lot to it there. I've discussed this in the past. Starting to hear some rumors about Xpeng. I don't know if I can believe it or not, but I do know that I don't want to be overexposed, so I'm going to limit myself down to about 100 or 200 shares of each and hold that long term and start reallocating my funds to other stuff, things that I am extremely interested in. Bitcoin, I'll talk about that in a second. I think there's a massive potential there, but Bitcoin, and then Draftkings and PENN, as I've mentioned, and then also I really like Palantir a lot, so I am looking at Palantir. So speaking of Xpeng and NIO, check out this recent video I just did on it. I did go into why I like Xpeng more, though I'm starting to like reverse my opinion on that. It's up in the air, right? It's really tough. That's why I'm scaling back a big part of why I'm scaling back my positions. Now let's move into Bitcoin. I am crazy bullish Bitcoin and Ethereum. I cannot wait for this coin exchange that TastyWorks got online. Talking to the CEO of TastyWorks, Tom Sosnoff. If you don't know him, he was the creator of Thinkorswim, sold that to TD Ameritrade for millions. Him and his team, he created TastyWorks. It's a great platform. Link down below. Check it out. There's no free stocks, blah, 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 but it's an amazing platform, and a coin exchange is coming online soon. And like I said, I believe there is a massive transfer and grab of wealth pouring into Bitcoin. I think there's a lot of secretive pouring into Bitcoin. More and more companies are going to start accumulating Bitcoin like Square is. To me, it just makes sense to have, instead of cash on hand or complete, all their cash on hand, start moving to that, some of that to Bitcoin, because it's a currency that I do think is going to develop, overtake gold, and do many other things. There's a finite supply on it. Check this video I recently did out on Bitcoin, and be on the lookout, as I will be doing many more videos, and it'll probably be my next video is another video on cryptocurrency. So I made this video on Saturday. I actually did a bunch of shooting, and then I ended up redoing it. Man, I'm too much. Anyway, so I'm going to pop this out probably Sunday morning. I do plan to live stream at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm not expecting a big crowd, but you're all welcome. Come in, hit that like button. Let's discuss the market. I'm going to watch the futures. I may even do some, you know what? I'm pretty twiddle my thumbs, boredom. Oh, I forgot the Chiefs game's on at that time. That makes it tough. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to come on at 3 o'clock anyway. May trade some futures. We could talk about stocks. Just shoot the S for a while. Really appreciate it if you come in. I really appreciate it if you smash the thumbs up on this video. Help me get this out there. I hope we all have a great trading week. I love you all, and peace.